Democrats' criticism of Judge Kavanaugh is actually hurting them ahead of the midterms.
But all you have to do is look at the polls over the last 3 or 4 days, and it shows that their rage-fueled resistance is starting to backfire at a level that nobody has ever seen before.
Consider this. According to an NPR PBS NewsHour Marist survey in July, there was a 10-point gap between the number of Democrats and Republicans saying the November elections were very important. Now that is down to 2 points, a statistical tie. We bring in Eric Reimer, president of Nueva Horizons, and Democratic strategist Hamza Khan. Gentlemen, happy Friday.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too, Lauren.
We are waiting about 5 hours from now, the procedural vote on the nomination of Kavanaugh in the Senate. And as the president said, we had all this Democratic enthusiasm opposed to Trump, opposed to his style. That's now perhaps, and I'm curious your take, Hamza, being cut by Republicans wanting to defend what has been done to Judge Kavanaugh.
Well, to be honest with you, Lauren, I'm not sure if we can really make any predictions yet. We still got 5 weeks to go before we have the midterm elections. And the important thing about that is that, that's a lifetime when it comes to politics. Anything can happen between then and now. We got 52 weeks in the year. Yeah. Donald Trump could put out another 52 tweets that change this election another time. Anything can happen in a couple of weeks, and I'm not going to rush any conclusions at this point.
Hamza, you're right. This is an active news cycle, but Eric, it seems to me like this Kavanaugh story has had the most staying power out of any topic since he's been president.
I mean, I think it definitely has been a historic nomination process. Certainly with the nomination of Neil Gorsuch last year, we saw it was much less intensive, much less controversy and whatnot. And I think certainly it does have the possibility to increase turnout. But yeah, once again, I mean, we're still a while away from the actual election day, and a lot could happen till then. I mean, the most important poll is the one on election day, and we still have a whole month to go for
we're looking at a lot of undecideds here. Flake and Collins, those senators, they said, maybe we're hoping they actually confirm him. They said the FBI investigation was thorough. Murkowski, we have no idea. Then there's Senator Manchin. He is returning to look at the FBI report once again today. So he's on the fence. If you watch the polling here, Hamza, if some of these key senators oppose Kavanaugh, we're seeing in their states voters are less likely to elect them. And we're seeing that specifically with Donnelly in Indiana, McCaskill in Missouri, and Heitkamp in North Dakota. She has said she will not vote for Kavanaugh. What do you make of all of that, Hamza?
First of all, we're talking about one single poll here. Most of the polls are still showing the Democrats picking up a boatload of seats in the House and the Senate. So let's not jump to any conclusions there. And the other thing to keep in mind here is that I expect U.S. senators to be doing their job in terms of due diligence when choosing someone for a lifetime appointment in the Supreme Court. Let's not get into the politics here of whether or not we should be supporting someone based on polling data. That's just un-American, if you ask me. We should be focused on who's the best candidate for that job.
Yeah, but now we're talking about his temperament, Eric. And when you're accused of gang rape, shouldn't you be a little bit fiery in your defense of yourself and your family?
I mean, I think certainly that's one's natural reaction. Certainly did see that on display. And I do think for Supreme Court justice, there should be a certain level of restraint, even in extraordinary situations. And we saw Judge Kavanaugh in his Wall Street Journal op-ed discussed how he felt he had perhaps stepped over the line in this hearing.
Did you think he stepped over the line as a Republican, Eric?
I mean, I think in some ways, yes. I think that, of course, it was if he truly believes he's innocent, it's a dramatically affront. But he's still, as a Supreme Court justice, there's an extraordinary high standard, and he definitely should demonstrate that kind of calm that reassures the nation.
Hamza, sitting home as a man, did you say, you know what, he needs to be proven guilty, not proven innocent here?
Sitting home as a man, the first thing I did was call my mother, my sister, and my cousins who are women and ask them, if there's ever been a situation where I've been less than a man, where I've been less than a gentleman to you, I'm sorry for it. How can we be helping women right now? I don't think I really have a say in this. We're talking about women. So, Lauren, it's really about you, Cheryl, and half of this country who are female to really talk about this and bring the issue to light. If we have a sexual assault problem in this country, which we do, it's a huge problem. We should be talking about it in the forefront every single day.
Yeah. Hamza Khan, Eric Reimer, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And obviously this weekend's going to be all about the confirmation battle for Judge Kavanaugh, but it's also going to be about football. And in Thursday night football, whether you love him or hate him, Tom Brady